Hello, my name is Gabrielle Healy, and I'm a biomedical engineering major at Worcester Polytechnic Institute, and I'm also the vice president of the Biomedical Engineering Society at our university.
Hi, my name is Bindik and I am a biomedical engineering student at WPI. I am the treasurer of BMES.
So today we're going to be working with a model of lungs and understanding how they work through a model built with everyday household items. So breathing is probably something you don't even have to think about, but involves a lot of different things to go right and work together in the body to even happen. Probably the most important thing to focus on, though, is pressures. Different pressures in your lungs build up and down to allow us to breathe the air we need and in order to take out the things that we don't want in our body. In order to replicate breathing or respiration in our model, there's a couple things that we should go through and learn first.
When you inhale, your diaphragm muscle contracts downwards while the rib muscles pull upwards. This causes the lungs to fill with air because when the diaphragm moves down and the ribs move up, there is more space in your lungs for air. This also leads to a decrease in pressure on the lungs so the air flows in from the outside of the body. Your diaphragm relaxes and the ribs and lungs contract in, causing air to be pushed out.
Alright, so before we begin, we're going to need a couple supplies in order to make this, of course. So one of the biggest ones is a soda bottle, a 2-liter bottle that the bottom has been cut off of and has the bottle cap with 2 holes drilled into it. So once you've done that, you want to make sure you have other supplies as well, including smaller balloons. These will act as the lungs. 2 straws, preferably ones without flexibility in them, so just no bends or anything like that. And then, of course, rubber bands. So to get started, you want to work with, of course, what we would have as the soda bottle, but what we are is basically going to act as our body cavity. So after you've gotten everything to make sure it's ready, you can move on to the straws. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is take the bottle cap that you've hopefully poked 2 holes in, and you're going to take your straw and then push it through the hole. Just long enough, like this. So then you'll do it with the other one. With the longer side in the part of the bottle cap facing down. Or really, like this. The next step is going to be attaching the 2 balloons to the underside here. Okay, so now that you're all set with the straws going through the bottle cap, you can take your 2 balloons, the smaller ones, the 9-inch ones, and take them, put them around the bottom of the straw, take a rubber band, and wrap it around so that it stays snug. So you want to do this so that there's not a lot of space between where the balloon hugs the straw and the straw itself, because you want to be able to make it difficult for air to escape from the balloon from anywhere except out of the straw. So, like this. So the next step, you want to take your cling wrap or your saran wrap or your balloon, depending on whichever works for you. Personally, my bottle was a little too flimsy, so I couldn't use a balloon because it would crush it too much. And you want to make sure that these aren't bending inwards so that there's spaces in between. You want to make sure that everything is vacuum sealed and tight. So you take your cling wrap and you wrap it around the bottom, making sure that there's no real holes or anything like that. And then, once you finish doing that, you can take you're either done because you have a balloon, or you can take your tape and wrap it around to make sure that it's all secure. Okay, so now that you have your bottom attached, this is going to represent the diaphragm, whether you have the saran wrap or if you have the balloon. So now this should be your finished model with the bronchi, where the air comes in, and then the lungs, and then this all goes and encased in the body cavity, which is bounded by the diaphragm. So if you take the bottom of your diaphragm, the bottom of your model, and you push down, you can see them inflate, and push in, you can see them deflate. So the lungs look like they're breathing. So now you've made a fully functional model of the lungs. By making the models you made today, you walk through several ideas that engineers use every day. These engineers can include those who make medicines for people who cannot breathe very properly, or people whose lungs don't function correctly, include engineers who make technology and machines for people who need help to breathe, like inhalers or artificial lungs. It also can go as far as astronauts who need to use these concepts in order to be able to breathe, using systems that are created specifically for them because they're so far out of the Earth and our atmosphere. I hope that this helped introduce you to some fun and interesting things that are happening inside your body right now.